Hey everybody, my name is Kylie Davila. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a senior Ruby brand ambassador. And tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about creating silvers. And I kind of wanted to take a little bit different approach rather than just, hey, here's a system. This is what you do with people, plug them in. I am going to give you guys some of the things you should be doing like as it's relevant, but I wanted to take this approach to give you guys like different scenarios that you see in your business with different people, because we don't have just one person. It's not like, hey, you sign somebody up and then this is exactly what you do, because wording changes up. You plug them into different things, follow-ups, all the things. So that is my approach. And I wanted to talk about mindset a little bit, because I think as a whole, we do really good about talking about, hey, you got to work on your mindset. Your mindset's important. What you focus on expands. We always say this business is 80% mindset and only 20% skill. And so I think there's like this broad, we talk about it like that. But I think our mindset directly plays into how we're showing up, how we're developing people. So if we can kind of focus on that, we can like flip it for our favor. And so the first scenario that I want to talk about, the easiest people that you can get to silver, those are the people who want to do the business. If you have somebody who wants to run with you from the get-go, they message you like, hey, tell me what products I need, but really tell me how to be successful. Tell me what I need to do to go silver. Tell me all the things. Those are the people who are going to be the easiest to get to silver. Now, I think the struggle there is you may be asking yourself or saying, okay, that's great, but like, where do you find those people? Like, I don't have anybody running to me or wanting to do the business. And so the question is, how do you find those people? And the answer is you're going to attract them. And how do we attract them? You do this. I wrote down 3 things, but I really think these first 2 play into the last one. So the 3 things, the first one's going to be social media, your confidence level, and your presence. And I really think your social media, and I'll get into that a little bit, your confidence level, I think that really is going to depict what kind of presence you show up, or the type of presence like that shows up, I should say. And so when I say social media, what do I mean by that? I mean, you can't be wishy-washy. You can't be like hit and miss. Here I am one week, and then next week I'm gone. It has to be very consistent. When you show up consistently, you are building trust with your people. One second, I didn't make sure people were muted. I think that's it. Hopefully. So I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Social media. So showing up consistently, like, people need to be able to see you consistently. That's what builds trust. If people see you, here you are one week, then you're back on the 3rd week, and then 2 months later, it's like you don't build trust with people at all. Like, they can feel you if you're like wavering. People want to go with people who are confident in where they're going, which goes in that second one, confidence, right? Confidence level, your posture. And I think this thing really is what gets people the most, or at least it did for me in my business in the beginning. Like, I can completely relate to this, because you have this feeling of like, oh, I haven't hit silver yet. So how can I show up and be bold about the business? Or, I've been silver, but I'm not senior silver. Or maybe you're sitting at senior gold and you like think, well, I can't really, I'm not an emerald, I'm not a diamond. And so what I want you to know is you can show up right now as a diamond, post about all the trips that you're going to go on, like create excitement. If you have longevity mindset, you may not be where you want to be like right in this exact moment, but you know where you're going. And so you're posting and you're showing up in this like place of, hey, this is where I'm going. I am so excited. Like, join me. This is what I have going on. Here's all the trips that I'm going to earn. You can show up as a diamond. And today I was talking with some of the leaders on the team, and we were actually, I think Tova was the one who said it. She had watched something, and the lady had said, if you hit emerald or diamond, write down those exact emotions. What would you feel? like those feelings, those emotions. So like, let's say right now you took the time, you wrote those out. Then the next thing was, well, what is keeping you from having those exact feelings right now? Because it's just a feeling, it's just an emotion. It's something you can choose to have right in this very second. And so you don't have to wait till you're a certain rank. You don't have to wait until you have it all figured out. You're just sharing your journey. And I actually think that if you always try to like show up as you have it all figured out, and that you're not even on this journey of growth and all the things, that people can often look at you and think they can't relate to you. Like, well, she has it all figured out. I could never do that because, you know, I don't know. So I think there's like this beautiful, I think there's beauty to the fact that we can show up where we're at. We can be so bold and so confident about where we're going and still be vulnerable and transparent that we don't always know like what we're doing. We're just going to figure it out. I remember Tiffany Wilson, I think at Ruby Retreat or one of the calls, I don't know. The first time I heard her saying that everybody was so excited when they were like all her and Jamie and Cody and the twins and Brittany and all them, like they were just hitting ranks and adding people, because she's like, there was just so much excitement and we didn't know what the heck we were doing. But Fallon kept saying, you're going to be a diamond. You're going to be a diamond. This is what you need to do. And so they believed her. And so she said, we didn't know what the heck we were doing, but we knew we were going to be diamond. And so I think that's so important. Posting wins. And what I mean by posting wins is every single thing. Like if you just had your best month, I don't care if it was by 1 point, like your audience doesn't have to know that, you know, last month you hit 100 points and this month you hit 101. Like post little wins, or in your mind, it may seem little, post every single win. If you added people this month, if you earned the incentive, if you ranked up, all of the things, like post every single win, because people are so attracted to growth and success and the excitement. I keep saying excitement. The excitement that you have is really what attracts people to like want to be a part of something more. And so I have that. And then the community. So I figured out, so people have different things that attract them about the business. Like you're going to have people who are all about the trips. Like they just want to know, yeah, the money's cool, but like, tell me about those trips that you're earning. You're going to have people who don't really care about the trips. They just want to know how to make money. You're going to have people who are really attracted to the fact that they can help others. So we have different personalities, which is why I think it's important to share all of our community. And I mean, our team, like us as a whole. And how I do this. So like on Monday nights, I always make sure to get my phone out when I'm on team call and I post it to my stories. And on book club on Thursday night, you would be so surprised the people who will comment like, what book club are you in? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. But I post book clubs. I post like if we have an event on the products, I post that. Obviously, when we go to convention or Ruby Retreat, any of the events that we have, I am posting it, because you never know when the idea, like somebody's just going to catch the vision and be like, oh my gosh, that's it. I really am like, I want to look into this a little bit more. And so just make sure every single time we have the ability to share about our community and show people that it's not just us, right? It's not just, hey, join Kylie. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all these people. Like they love Plexus. They're doing this. Like, I want to be a part of that. And so I think that's really attractive too. And basically, when we're doing all of these things, you're painting the vision for people. You're building trust in yourself and confidence. So like they're going to have that in you. They're going to trust you. They're going to feel confident in you. And when they are ready, they are going to come to you. It's basically saying like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I am a solid rock. Like, yes, I'm going to have some hurdles to overcome, but I'm not going to quit. I'm not playing small. Like this is what I'm going after. And when I said, I know what I'm doing, that doesn't mean you have it all figured out again. What I'm saying is like, hey, I know what I'm doing. Like, join me. If we have a question, we have something comes up, we're going to figure it out. As Christina always says, like everything's figure outable, right? So ask yourself these questions. Do you feel uncomfortable posting about the business side of Plexus? Like, does that make you feel uncomfortable? Or does it make you feel uncomfortable if you were going to write a post right now and you were going to say something like, I will mentor you, I will coach you, something that's a reflection of yourself? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Because I think this is the holdup. Like, we feel very comfortable posting about the products. And I think and I'm not saying you can't do that at all, but I'm saying, like, if you want to attract business builders, you've got to be talking about the business. And so I would even say, if you have nobody at all coming to you and saying, hey, so-and-so, like, I really want to do this business, I've seen you posting, like, tell me a little bit more. If you've never had that, or it's like, it's been a long time, I would say, go look at your social media, like your posting and stuff, and take inventory of, like, how many posts have I showed up promoting the business, talking about the business, sharing that side, versus only posting about the products. Because honestly, where I've seen like the most change is when I started really focusing on the business side of Plexus, and then just throwing in some products. Every once in a while I'll do the products, right? Because we still want to attract product users. But if you're only posting about the products, you're going to have a whole team of product users. And so just don't shy away. Don't feel like you can't be confident in yourself, in your leadership. Know that you can do this, and don't feel afraid to start small. Like, every single successful person in this business, everybody has started at the exact same spot. And I know, like, Natalie has said it. I know Fallon said it. People are like, hey, in the beginning, when I didn't have my own like success to talk about, I talked about other people. I would talk about other stories. You can share that too. We always say that info tells, but stories sell. You can go find testimonies on the business, because you never know who's going to like be attracted to that, or who it's going to like hit home for. So let me see here. Oh, going back. So don't feel intimidated to start small, because we've all started small. But I know, like, we were also talking about this today, and I was like, there's like this feeling sometimes when we start small and we like want to be a diamond or want to be successful, and we have all these goals, right? And there's like this, I don't know if it's embarrassment or what the word, but it's like, oh my gosh, like, I feel embarrassed to all of a sudden say, like, this is what I'm going to do, because you're putting yourself out there, right? Like, that's saying, hey, I believe I can do fill in the blank. But we were talking about, it takes those little, like, sometimes we can be like the corny things of like posting your affirmations. That's something you're working on, like your mindset. Put your affirmations up on your mirror where your family can see it. It's fine. That may seem corny to you, like the serious things. Make a vision board and like put it up where you can see it. I know sometimes that can make people feel like, I don't know about a vision board, and like putting that up where other people can see it. Like, do things like this. Natalie was saying, she bought her emerald dress. Buy your emerald dress. Imagine how you're going to feel. Like, this is where I'm going. And so she bought the dress. She didn't get to wear it, I think, for a year or something. Then she hit emerald. But it's like doing things like that. Your lock screen, you can create a whole vision board and put it on your lock screen. So every time you open it up, you see it. And so just don't be afraid or intimidated to like start small, or embarrassed, any of that. Like, believe in yourself, know where you're going, and be confident when you share about the business or share about joining you and that you're going to mentor and coach. Like, just know where you're going and that you're going to make it there, and you'll figure it out as you go. So, moral of the story is, if you want people to come to you about the business, talk about the business. Okay. So those people, they kind of fall in suit, like what you would do with them when you have like customers. Let's say, for example, you have somebody who you're chatting with and they just told you, hey, yeah, these are my health goals. You've picked out a welcome pack and now you're signing them up. I feel like the way we sign people up, I think it has shifted a little bit, because even Plexus has made it so simple that you can just create a little cart. You share the link. I have been doing that so much lately. It is so easy, you guys. You sign in, you create their cart, and you just send them the link. Hey, here's what you need. Click it and check out. So if you're doing that, and because sometimes even I'm grabbing people's information and I'm just like signing them up, you are missing like the phone call, right? Like the initial phone call where you're signing someone up over the phone. But where I've made up with this, because the phone call is still very important, but what I've been doing are the welcome calls. And I know like my team, we do 3-way welcome calls if possible. Like there's definitely times where like 3 of us can't meet. And so my team will just take on the welcome call and do it, by themselves. But if possible, usually they're like, hey, on this day, do you have any time for welcome calls? We set one up. And so what we're doing, we're getting someone on the phone to go over some tips. We are so excited, right? When you first sign somebody up, this is where it actually starts. Like that's not the end goal. The end goal isn't like, yes, I just got my join. Like that's the best thing. Now the work actually starts. Like what you do with the people, this is how you're going to get people to like start to think about what's possible and, being excited. So as soon as you sign somebody up, or if they are using the Instacart share link thing, I don't even know the exact term for it, but let's say they just checked out. I make sure I'm so excited. I celebrate with them, getting them plugged into our team page, sending them a welcome graphic, making them the welcome post on our team page. Like, yes, I'm so excited for you. And then I'm immediately starting that welcome call. Hey, do you have any time? If it's like early in the morning, at nighttime, for that evening, I might say, hey, this evening at 6, do you have any time to hop on the phone for like 15 minutes with me? I want to get you completely set up for success and go over some tips for when your products come. And so if possible, do this with your sponsor. And if not, just, you can do it yourself too. There's a welcome call. If you guys haven't seen it, we can like plug that in, but I go over some tips with them. I ask them about their water intake. I tell them that consistency is key, and then close communication. So once I've gone over the tips, what you have to say is like the magic question, right? The magic question is, hey, if you love your products, do you plan on sharing them? And then just be quiet, like just let them answer. Because I know it can be awkward. Sometimes we're like, so yeah, if you love your products, do you plan on sharing? Just be so bold and confident, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I loved all what you had to say. We went over the tips. Okay, great. Okay, last question. If you love your products, do you plan on sharing? And then you're going to have people that say yes, like, oh yeah, of course, I'd love to share. And you may have people that are like, yeah, I might share, but I don't really know about the business. So based on those 2 responses, like I gauge where the person's at. And then that's where I will go into like what I do with them next. Because if I have somebody who says like, yes, I want to, I'd be interested in sharing. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I can do this, but like, yeah, it would be cool. So based on what they're saying, I'm like, all right, if you're interested in this, that is when you can start to get them, like you start guiding them. Don't puke plexus on them. Don't be like, okay, I'm about to send you all these videos and this and that. I would say start simple, go one step at a time. You don't want to overwhelm your people, and you want to guide them. I always keep it in mind to guide somebody one step at a time. If they're saying yes to the business, I am going to send them the graphic of this month, because initially our first goal is silver. So we don't need to be talking about, oh my gosh, do you want to know how to go gold this month? First step is silver. If they reach silver and you still have month left, then we're talking about senior silver, and then we're talking about gold. But you just want to focus on one thing at a time and send them the incentive of like, oh my gosh, girl, like here's the incentive this month. This is how much you can make. This is what you can earn. Like, I'd love to help you get started and get you to silver. You only need 3 people. Like, do you have anybody who you would like to get started with, or anybody in mind that would want to get started with you? And just let them answer. And you may be doing this, like sometimes I find at the end, based on what they said, like sometimes I'm still on the phone with them, and you can just ask them, and then you can say, write the stuff down. Okay, this is what I'm going to send her when we hang up. Or you can, maybe you're messaging them later, you got off the phone, and then you're like, okay, I know you said you were interested in the business or in sharing, but you're not really sure about the business. After that, you can say, I just wanted to let you know, like, here's the incentives this month. Take a look. I'd love to answer any questions. So going back to the person who is like, yes, they're interested, I would go ahead and have them make a first post. I help people create their first post. There's things in Pink Power you can find. I just save some to my phone and I say, hey, I would love to like help you create a first post, take a little selfie with your products. Here's some example wording, create it to sound like you, and let's get you a post up. And then I talk to them more. So it's like guiding them, right? And then I'm asking, hey, like, who are those people who you could get started with? Do you have anybody in mind? And if they say no, you can help them start to think about people. Like, what do you do for work? Oh, I do this. Okay. Do you have any coworkers? Like, do you have a best friend that you go do everything with? How about your mom? Do you have any sisters? Like, you're just wanting to connect with people, ask a lot of questions, because based on their responses, you can tailor like information to them. Okay. Because this is not, I heard this once. It's like, this is not about manipulation. This is about connection. Like, you want to talk to somebody, figure out their pain points, then find out a little bit more about them, and then point them in the right direction based on them, because nobody is the same. And so this isn't you trying to talk anybody into like doing something. This is like telling them what's available to them, being so excited, and then gauge where they're at, and then meet them where they're at. And so then like what I'll do after they start making a first post, I tell them, hey, if you have anybody that comments, like, let me know so I can give you wording immediately that you can send to this person. And then I help them. I let them know, hey, as soon as this person writes back, send me a screenshot. And then once they're talking to that person, if it gets to the point where I can say, hey, can you just start a 3-way? And then I give them the wording, they'll say, hey, so-and-so, this is my friend Kylie. She helped me get started on the product. She's been on the products for over 5 years now, and she knows a lot. She's going to help like figure out what's best for you, the introduction, and start a 3-way. Other than that, they'll take like a screenshot, send it over, and then I give them exact wording, because in the beginning, people don't know how to conversate with people. They don't know how to close people. These are all the skills that we learn over time, how to pick out welcome packs. And so I just make sure to let them know you're not alone. Don't freak out. Like, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to give you wording. And so I help this person. And once they get one person, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like 2 away. Like, who else can you talk to? Then I will talk to them about reach outs. So after they've made their first post, then I'm going to talk to them about reach outs. And I give them exact wording. Hey, those people, I want you to make a list of about 20 people, and getting them to start messaging people about what they're doing. And I have found like 20 is pretty simple. We figured out like 20 doesn't seem to be overwhelming. Everybody knows 20 people that they could reach out to. It can be their dirt list, like people that would literally buy dirt from you, like your mom, your sisters, your brother, whoever. So based on that, and then you're guiding them, and then you can send them the Plexus 101 video. Then you can like start introducing them to the team calls, start talking to them about posting and how to create posts and what you should be posting. So it's like guiding them little by little, but focus on silver, because if you can get someone to silver, then I wish I remembered. I was trying to remember. Tova, I feel like Tova might remember. There was like a percentage of people, if you can get them to silver, I don't know if it was like 70 or 90%. It was something, but they will be on the products a year later if you can get them to silver. Like, anyways, so it is important. And I know I have like 2 minutes. So then you have the other scenario of somebody who is like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind sharing, but I'm just, I don't really want to do the business. So they're still closed off on the business. But what I will say about those people is don't forget about them. And I want you to think about this word, experience. Like, people are looking for an experience. People aren't as skeptical about like signing up or ordering stuff. I think there's just so much vying for people's attention. And then it's such a quick, like, here's your stuff, enjoy, blah, blah, blah. But what we want to do is create this experience, because people want connection now more than ever. And so when you're signing them up, I will say staying organized is so important. So people don't slip through the cracks. And it happens. Like, when I moved, oh my gosh, I was like, I can't find my papers. I don't know who the heck is on what day and what, and like things got crazy. But if you can try to stay on top of it and stay super organized so people don't slip through the cracks, be so excited, get them immersed in our culture. Every event that we have, like a product event, business event, just say, hey, we're having this. Like, I thought about you. I know you just got started. I wanted to plug you in. Always coming to them with new information and keep following up. Like, never forget to follow up with these people. Do your regular check-ins, helping them adjust their products. But then, a month goes by, you can totally check in with them about the business. And that can be in different ways. And lastly, what I want to say is you can do an event for every single person that I just listed. So the first two who, like, the person that comes to you wants to do the business, obviously they're going to be like, yes, let's do an event. Second person who's like, yeah, I'm into sharing, send me more information, get them an event. The person who says no or doesn't seem like they're really interested, you can still mark it as like, hey, I just wanted to let you know you do have your own referral code. It comes automatically with your account. What happens a lot is, like, you'll go to work drinking your pink drink and your coworker is going to be like, hey, what are you doing? And so let me know. I can help you help that person get started based on their health goals. You do have this referral code. You can at least get your products paid for. So that kind of opens the conversation to, like, oh, I know you're not interested in the business right now, but at least you can get your products paid for. And then the conversation comes up once I've followed up a few times with, like, hey, how are you feeling? And then I'll say, hey, like, let's do this event. I know you're not really into the business, but we can at least get your products paid for. Do you remember what we talked about? They're super simple. I'll set it up for you. You only have to invite about, it depends on which event you're doing. If you're doing a messenger event, tell them 10 to 15 people. If you're doing a health and happiness event, you can say, a minimum of 20. Like, how do you feel about that? And then letting them decide, because you can do an event even if they're not interested in the business. And then you never know, you might find people through that event who are still interested, or that are interested in the business, even if that person is not. But always follow up, never forget about them. That's like the biggest thing I can say is we always say the fortune's in the follow-up. And I think we often think about it like when it comes to brand new reach outs and trying to get people to, like, try the products, but don't forget about your customers, because I can tell you that fortune's in the follow-up there. You never know, like, when their circumstances change or when, like, the light bulb can go on and they do want to take a second look. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Sorry, I'm a little bit over, but yeah, hopefully, and I guess we can hop on to Pink Power Call. And if you have any questions, just message me. Bye, y'all.